Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
All right, today we are going to do strategy 13.2, quick stops using symbols, which that doesn't mean anything to you, but my professor will know what that means. Okay, Daisy. So today we are going to be working on reading a short piece of text, and we are going to use symbols to kind of pick it apart to find the deeper meaning of the text of each paragraph. We are going to do this. It's going to help us become stronger readers, and it will enable us to be able to have conversations about the book that we're reading, whether it's with a partner, with your teacher, or if you just want to tell somebody about the book that you're reading, using these quick symbols, or symbols, I guess we'll just call them. Using these symbols will help us go about it. So I sent you a picture of these symbols. I'm going to try to pull them up here, and I'm going to share my screen with you. That way my professor can see these symbols as well really quick before we get going. Okay, share screen. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so these right here are the symbols. I know it's on your screen already, Daisy, but these are the symbols that we are going to use. So when we're reading our paragraph, usually you would use, you could use a pen, a highlighter, but since we're doing this all digitally, we're going to type it in on that Google Doc that I had sent you. So if you're reading a part and it's funny, you can write LOL by it. There's the little asterisk or the star. If you are reading something in a sentence or a paragraph sounds important to you, put an asterisk. Something surprises you, put an exclamation point. If you read something and you really liked it, sometimes when I read a book, there's not a quote, but there's just a sentence that is really inspiring, I'll put a heart by it. If there's something confusing, you'll put a question mark. Or if there's a part that makes you kind of predict, like, oh, gets the wheels turning in your head, about, oh, maybe this is going to happen, you can put a little thinking bubble. So these are all things that we'll do, and you just want to jot them down really quickly while you're reading because you don't want to lose your focus. So that's kind of the whole point of using these little symbols, is so you don't have to stop and write out a bunch of sentences. You just have to write a little symbol, and then when you go back to look at it later, you can kind of refresh your memory. Oh, I thought this was funny. I thought this was important. And it'll just kind of refresh your memory. Okay. So I am going to show you how we actually do this. It's a little easier to watch it being done than just listen to me talk about it. Okay. So I pulled up that Google Doc that I shared with you. Can you see me like editing on it? Can you see me typing on it now? Is it
Yeah.
for you? Okay. Perfect. Okay. So this passage that I got for us is called Sir Gobble. I thought since this had Thanksgiving, it would be a appropriate text. And I have up here our little symbols that we're going to use. I couldn't do the thinking, predicting one though, because I wasn't sure how to get that on here, but we'll just do dots for that. Okay, so I'll read the first few paragraphs and show you how it's done. Bessie Curtis resided with her aunt and uncle on a farm. She was very worried. I wonder why she was worried. I'm going to put a question mark there. Not that it's confusing, but I'm just wondering. Bessie enjoyed the country and she loved her uncle and aunt. However, something deeply disturbed her. That sounds like that could be important. make that red. As the summer passed and the autumn came, she had moments when she looked incredibly sad. What was the reason for her sadness? I can tell you because I was there. Huh. So this tells me that Bessie is not telling the story, someone else is. Which is surprising. I wonder who it is. So that surprises me. So I'm going to put an exclamation point and also maybe a question mark because I'm also wondering who is telling that story. Early in the spring, her uncle had given her a young turkey. There, Bessie, he had said, that is one of the prettiest turkeys I've ever seen. I will give him into your care, and on Thanksgiving Day, we will have him on the dinner table. I think I know why Bessie was feeling sad earlier now. I think it's because she has to raise this turkey and then they have to eat it on Thanksgiving. So I think that's probably an important part in the story. For some time, Bessie fed the turkey every day without feeling particularly fond of him. Very soon, however, he began to know her. He not only ran to meet her when she brought him his corn and meal, but he would follow her about just the way Mary's little lamb followed her about. All right, that is also, I think, important because she's getting attached to the turkey now, which that's makes me also, I feel like I could predict that maybe she's going to be really sad and maybe she might run away with the turkey so she doesn't have to eat it. So that's kind of how we start doing it. You'll just read, and if something makes you think, you can just type in whatever that symbol is. So I'm going to have you do the next, well, we'll do the next few together, but I'm going to have you read it.
Okay.
So you can start whenever you're ready. Do you want me to get off my share screen or are you?
I have it on mine.
Okay.
Her uncle often called after her, and everywhere that Bessie goes, the turkey's sure to go. Then why was she so sad? Alas, she remembered her uncle's words when he gave her the turkey. On Thanksgiving Day, we'll have him on the table. Thanksgiving Day would be here in a week.
Is
Now,
there anything on that, in that paragraph that you want to mark up? If there's any symbol that you want to jot down quick, or if you want to, I don't know if you're able to.
no, but maybe since she said the important thing is the throwback on what her uncle said, that part.
This one? Oh yeah, I think that's important as well, you bet. Okay, you may go on.
Now Bessie had been like some little girls. She would have told her trouble to go to her uncle, but she never mentioned it to anyone, although she cried herself to sleep several nights before Thanksgiving Day. At last the day came, and Bessie, instead of going out to the yard as usual, kept in the house all the morning. She was afraid that if she went outside, she would not find her beloved friend. Dinner time came, and with a heavy heart, she seated herself at the table. Her uncle and aunt saw how upset she seemed.
What would you mark in any of those two paragraphs that you just read?
Although she cried herself to sleep several nights before Thanksgiving Day. Maybe. Let me see.
I know it's kind of hard with screen sharing.
Either important or surprising.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably an important part for us to know that she's sad, and also kind of surprising because earlier it had said how she wasn't fond of the turkey. So I definitely agree. What about that next one? She kept in the house all morning. That's probably important.
Yeah.
I'll put a She seated herself at the table with a heavy heart.
Mhm.
That could be a part maybe that it's kind of making us predict in our head that maybe the turkey is
Yeah.
at the table. So maybe let's put the dots for the part that makes us predict. Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to have you finish reading this, and I'm going to have you tell me what you would mark up, okay?
Mm. Come, come, said her uncle. We must cheer up. There are no sad looks on Thanksgiving Day. Maria, bring in the turkey. Poor Bessie, she could not bring herself to look up as the door opened, and something was brought in on a big platter. As the platter was placed on the table, she saw that it indeed did hold her turkey. But he was alive and well. Her uncle said, Why, Bessie, did you think I would kill your pet? No, indeed, but I told you he should be on the table Thanksgiving Day, so here he is. Then Bessie's uncle struck the turkey gently with his carving knife, the way the queen strikes a man with a sword when she makes him a knight. Behold, said Bessie's uncle, I dub you Sir Gobble. You shall never be killed, but die a natural death, and never be parted from Bessie. Now, you may guess who I am. I was there all the time. I have feathers.
Okay, so what would you go through and mark up? And so that last pass.
The last part, I would say the funny part, LOL, and surprising.
The very last, this part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Was there anything else in that passage that you would mark up?
Yeah. And also the IW Sir Gobble part, you shall never be killed but die a natural death.
Which symbol would you use for that?
Also, probably the surprising also.
Definitely.
And again, the part above it, then Bessie's uncle struck the turkey gently with his carving knife, the way the queen strikes a man with a sword when she makes him a knight. Surprising as well.
Anything else that you would jot down there in any of those other ones?
The one you're on, I would also put surprising once again and confusing a bit.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it was confusing?
Because why did you think he said why did you think I would kill your pet? No, indeed, but I told you he should be on the Thanksgiving table. So here he is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So when you think of a turkey being on the table on Thanksgiving Day, you're not thinking of it being alive. Is there anything in the paragraph above that you'd mark up?
The end part of that paragraph, as the platter was placed on the table, she saw that it indeed did hold her turkey, but he was alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising again.
You bet. So yeah, that was that last passage part that you read had a lot of surprising parts in it, didn't it? Yeah. And so what you can do when you are doing this, if you're reading a book and you have a pencil with you, it's easier for you to go in and just mark it up as you read. You can also go back like we did and read it a second time and mark it up. And that way, then when you go to discuss it with somebody, you can just go back and look at it and rethink about it, and just kind of get a deeper understanding of the story because you're really thinking about it. So it's just another way that will help us stay engaged when we are reading. Sometimes it's easy to stop paying attention when you read. So this is kind of a good way to be able to go back and think about everything. Do you have any questions?
Not at all.
Not at all. All right. Thank you, Daisy. Hello again.
Well,
All right, Daisy. So this next lesson that we're going to do, for my professor, it is strategy 13.12. What happened? What it makes me think T-chart. Okay. This going. All right, Daisy. So when we read a story, it can be hard to keep track of